Ghost. Amen. I want to look tonight for just a little bit in the book of 2 Samuel. We'll go to the 23rd chapter. If you're going to turn there with me, you don't have to stand, but I'm going to read a few scriptures here. And I'm not going to tell you how long I will or won't be up here. I don't know. Maybe a few minutes. I don't know. I'm going to try not to strain my vocal cords any worse than they are. But I can't make no promises there either. I don't know. Brother Lewis and I were talking about how some professional musicians and singers will turn the volume up more and the voice down to try to. I said, that ain't gonna work for me. It ain't about the volume. It's just when I get to feeling the anointing, I can't regulate that. 2 Samuel 23 and verse 8. Are we fighting a bug or something? Sister May, you didn't swallow it, did you? That kind of reminds you of Sister Barbara and the wasp, don't it? Right at middle preaching, she'd see a wasp and she'd jump up there with her shoes off trying to kill it. I'm going to tell you what, we'd have a good time in church. 2 Samuel 23 and verse 8, the Bible says, these be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachomite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains, the same was Adino. The Esnai, he lifted up his spear against 800 whom he stood one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo the Ahohite, one of the three mighty men with David when they defied the Philistines. They were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose, smote the Philistines until his hand was weary. His hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day. And the people returned after him only to spoil. An old saying went through my mind just a moment ago, listening to the testimonies. It says, winners never quit. And quitters, thank you. Let's say it again. Winners never quit. And quitters never win. Last night during service, the Lord spoke to my mind with this passage of Scripture. And just simply said, don't stop fighting. Amen. I said, don't stop fighting. And I feel the Holy Ghost. Amen. Don't ever quit fighting for the Lord. Amen. Don't ever quit reaching. Don't ever quit trying. Don't ever quit pressing. Amen. Keep your mind made up and stay determined that amen, I'm never going to give up. I will tell you tonight that I feel more determined in my spirit, amen, than I ever have to see a move of God. I feel more determined tonight, amen, to fight this battle than I ever have. Amen, I'm looking for God to let revival roll on and on and on and feel this house. Somebody praise the Lord. I want to tell you a story here. The main thing I want to take out of the passage that we read is from verse 10. As it speaks of Eleazar. He arose and he smote the Philistines. Josh and I talked about this the other day. Until his hands were weary. His hand was weary. His hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day. And the people returned after him only to spoil. Amen. If his hands were weary. Amen. He was tired. He had been battling. He had been there are consequences to quitting. Come on. Bear with me. Lord, touch my voice. On March the 3rd, 1840, a young man was born. This young man would go down in history as a statesman and as an orator for his people. He would go down in history known as one of the greatest leaders, one of the greatest tacticians in warfare that had been known up to that time. Amen. His birth name was Henmatuya Laket. And after being educated at a mission, he was named young Joseph. I feel the Holy Ghost. There are some who start out great, but somewhere along the way, they get weary from the battle. They get weary from the fight. They get weary from the struggle. Amen. And we can find ourselves falling by the wayside. Amen. God help us to stay determined. Amen. To keep our mindset and our feet planted. Amen. And determined. Amen. That regardless of what I face, amen, I will stay focused on God. That I will not fall by the wayside, that I will make it through. Be seated. His Indian name meant thunder rolling down the mountain. His tribe was the Wallowankin people. They were the Nez Perce Indians. They lived in the Willowa Valley. This would be the group of Indians who actually bred the Appaloosa horses. And this young man, as he grew up, there came a day that his daddy, who also was known as the elder Joseph, again because his Indian name was so long, called him to his side and made him commit to him that he would forever fight for their lands. He said, your mother's bones are buried here. My bones will be buried here. We will become a part of the earth from which we came. And I want your word that you will fight for our lands. Young Joseph gave his word to his father. And upon his father's death, he became Chief Joseph of the Nez Perce Indians. Amen. The American government came to Chief Joseph. Amen. And wanted to renegotiate their treaty for their lands. They had originally done a treaty that was comprised of 7.7 million acres of ground that took in their native lands, and amen, where they had always lived. Amen. But just amen, a few short years after that, they come and said, we got to renegotiate. Amen. There's more settlers coming in, and they shortened it to 760,000 acres, and within that reservation would not be amen, the Willow Valley where they had lived, amen, their lives, and where the bones of his ancestors rested. He said, I will not sign that treaty. Amen. There came a breach, amen, within the Nez Perce Indians. Some yielded, some didn't. Chief Joseph said, I will not give in. I will Really, all the time we're living for God, you got to take a stand. You got to look into yourself and say, I will not give up. This started a back and forth between the Nez Perce Indians and the military. Finally, under a guy named General Oliver Howard. Amen. And somewhere around the mid-1870s, they had an order to round them up and move them to a reservation by force. Chief Joseph, along with about 700 men, women, and children, amen, along with some other chiefs within the tribe, amen, started on a nearly 1,200-mile journey, amen, that would take them through Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, where they were reaching for the Canadian border. Just across the Canadian border, amen, was the Lakota Sioux Indians led by Sitting Bull, amen, who had asylum in Canada. Chief Joseph said, if we can just get to Canada, amen, everything will be okay. Oh, come on, there's some metaphors there and some things we can symbolize in living for God. Amen, because times we think about, God, if I can just hold on, amen, till either you call me home or I hear the trumpet sound. Amen, Chief Joseph knew there's battles, there's trials, it's winter. Amen, there'll be hunger, there'll be thirst, there'll be famine. Come on, somebody. And the war every step of the way. But if we can just make it, amen, get it in your heart, get it in your mind. I'm not worried about the battle. I'm not worried about the fight. I just want to cross the line. You be seated, amen. For over 3 months, in the dead of winter, Chief Joseph and his tribe outmaneuvered and battled the pursuers traveling that 1,200 miles. One of those battles was led by Captain Perry and 2 cavalry companies of the U.S. Army led by Captains Trimble and Feller. They engaged Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce Indians in White Bird Canyon in 1877, June 17th. They were repelled. 34 soldiers died, while the Nez Perce only suffered 3 wounded warriors. They continued to repel the Army's advances, eventually reaching the Clearwater River, where they were joined by another Nez Perce chief. Looking Glass and his people brought their number to about 740 Indians, but only 200 of those were warriors. The majority was women and children and older people. Amen. Following, excuse me, I lost my place. Oh, they were within sight nearly of Canada. Final battle of the Nez Perce Indians. Amen. This march became known as the Nez Perce War. 40 miles from the Canadian border, camped on Snake Creek near Bear Paw Mountain. General Howard arrived on October the 3rd, leading the cavalry. He had been so impressed with the skill of the Nez Perce, using advanced and rear guard, skirmish lines, field fortifications. I'm going to take you something sometimes. It may look like you're doing everything right, but what we can't see is what's inside the heart and inside the mind. You see, Chief Joseph had set his men right. Just a handful of men repelling the armies, repelling, amen, seasoned soldiers. I feel the Holy Ghost. But there's some things going on in his mind. There's some things going on in his heart. Amen. That it might have looked like you're about to win, Chief Joseph. Amen. The finish line is in sight. Oh, but there's some things going on inside.
Come on.
We got to stay focused. Following a devastating 5-day siege during freezing weather, with no food or blankets, the major war leaders dead, Chief Joseph formally surrendered to General Miles on the afternoon of October the 5th, 1877. Hear the words of Chief Joseph. And I'm telling you tonight, don't ever give up. Don't ever quit fighting.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Don't let the things that happen cause you to focus more on that than you do focusing on the prize. Come on. Amen. Tell General Howard, I know his heart. What he told me before, I have it in my heart. I am tired of fighting. Our chiefs are killed. Looking Glass is dead. The old men are all dead. It is the young men who say yes or no. He who led on the young men is dead. It is cold. We have no blankets. The little children are freezing to death. My people, some of them have run away to the hills, have no blankets, no food. No one knows where they are. Perhaps freezing to death. I want to have time to look for my children, to see how many I can find. Maybe I shall find them. Hear me, my chiefs. I am tired. My heart is sick and sad. And here are the words that have been etched in time. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever. Somebody help me pray. I would like to recoin the phrase. From where the sun now stands, I will fight more forever. Come on, somebody. Amen. My mind's not set on giving up. My mind's not set on turning back. Amen. For forever I will fight. I will press. I will reach. I will pray. I will trust. Because I ain't quitting. I won't stop fighting. I will press in. Somebody praise the Lord tonight. Can we talk to the Lord? The devil will get in the ear, and he'll make you promises of how it'll be if you'll give up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be easier. The things you struggle with won't be a struggle anymore. Come on, somebody. By the time Joseph had surrendered, 150 of his followers had been killed or wounded. Their plight, however, did not end. Although Joseph had negotiated with General Miles and Howard for a safe return home for his people, General Sherman overruled this decision, forced Joseph and 400 followers to be taken on unheated rail cars to Fort Leavenworth in eastern Kansas. Remember Sherman? He's a guy that burned a path through Atlanta, Georgia during the Civil War. He had no respect for anybody. Come on. They were held in a prison of war campsite for 8 months. Toward the end of the following summer, the surviving Nez were taken by rail to a reservation in the Indian Territory, which is now Oklahoma. They lived there for 7 years, where many of them died of epidemic diseases while there. You can dig even further and you'll find that Chief Joseph lost more people in a time of surrender than he did in a time of war.
All right, come on. Jesus.
I want the heart of Eliezer.
Come on.
Come on. It says I ain't letting go.
Come on.
I might be surrounded. Amen. I might be wounded. I might be weary. It may take everything I got to hold on. Amen. But I ain't letting go. My mind is made up. My heart is set. I will not let go. I will not stop. I will not give up. I will not quit. I will fight for my freedom. Jesus, help us tonight. They told Chief Joseph, we'll let you go back to your ancestral lands. You can go back and take care of the graves of your mama and dad. On September of 1904, still in exile from his homeland, never allowed to go back, lied to time and time again. That indomitable voice of the conscience of the Indian people was still. The doctor who overseen Chief Joseph said he died from a broken heart. Why? Because he quit flying. I said he quit flying. He got tired. He got weary. Judges, the 8th chapter. I'm not going to hold this much longer. Judges 8 and 1. This is the story of Gideon. Part of the story. The men of Ephraim said unto him, why hast thou served us thus, that thou calledst not when thou wentest to fight with the Midianites? They did chide him sharply. He said unto them, what have I done now in comparison with you? He said, not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abazar. God hath delivered into your hands the princes of Midian, or the Zeb. What was I able to do in comparison of you? Then their anger was abated toward him when he had said that. Gideon came to Jordan. Now they're still pursuing an enemy. And passed over he and the 300 men that were with him faint, yet pursuing them. Amen. They were weary. They were tired. They were worn out, but they were determined. Oh. Amen. They were faint, but yet they had their mind made up. We will win. We will overcome our enemy. We will, amen, be victorious. Oh. I want you to understand something. This wasn't just an ordinary group of men. Amen. This was Gideon's 300. Amen. Just a little while before, the Lord had told Gideon, you tell all of them that's fearful and afraid, go back home. We don't need anybody in this fight that's scared. Amen. This 300 men were cowards. They weren't weaklings. They were the men among men. They want you to understand something. The Lord knows what you're fighting. The Lord knows what we struggle with. Amen. 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, verses 7 and 8. God has given you and I a treasure. Come on. And we have this treasure in earthen vessels. That's us. That the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. Amen. You will not make it on your own ability. Amen. You will make it when you recognize, amen, that when I keep fighting, God is going to fight for me. That if I'll take a step, He'll pick me up and carry me. If it's got to be that way. Come on, somebody. Amen. That His power may be revealed. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. Amen. We are perplexed, but not in despair. I got trouble all around me. Amen. I got problems. I got battles. Oh, but I kind of made up mind. I will not quit. I won't stop fighting. Go ahead and play, Sister Spirit. You got an enemy who wants to see you fall. But you got a God who is far greater than the enemy. Come on. You got a God that created you for excellence. He created you to be victorious. He created you with a destiny. And that destiny is to walk on streets of gold. But it won't happen if you don't fight the current. Amen. I have stated before, do you know what you have to do to go to hell? You know what the answer is?